there's so much that you do in very simple techniques that we teach in many of our workshops, but also in our crystalline coaching community, and in all platforms, that where you can physically change your state. And one of the favorite tools that we like teaching is the switch. So every time you notice that you're engaging in a pattern of like not forgiving or being stubborn or staying stuck or feeling bad, you have the power to change that. You have the power to manage your state, to change your state like that. And the switch, so this karate chop of taking your fist and punching it into your palm and alternating, really does something to your physical body and your emotional body.
And your brain.
And your brain.
Yes.
And your energy levels.
Right.
So if you're watching this right now, why don't you do this with me? And notice how some of you might even find this difficult to do, because it's synchronizing your left and your right brain hemispheres. And when it does that, it actually enables us to access a whole brain state. And if we connect this with a few deep breaths, we're already de-stressing the body, because, MD, in here we have all the acupressure points of the body, right? Is that
and
true?
the chakras and the meridians, all of that, right?
That's right.
So the whole body system, all the organs, all the hormones, even the brain, every part of your body is reflected in your hands, also in your feet, also in your ear. So you can treat actually everything with the hand, the ear, or the feet.
Which is very known in Chinese medicine, right? Which is
Absolutely.
thousands of years old. Anyway, if you're doing this switch, every single time you notice you're in a negative state, you're breaking the pattern. You're interrupting it, right? And that gives the brain and your conscious mind the ability to change your focus. To say, okay, if I know that this is not what I want, what do I want? Right. How would I like to feel right now?
It's a choice.
Right? It's a choice. And that choice we get to make every 60 seconds, right? Or every 90 seconds. How quickly do our thoughts come through? Even quicker.
So much quicker.
We have a ton load of thoughts.
Right. And to switch, you have to see that as a pattern breaker, a pattern interrupt. You're in an emotional state. You're angry, upset. You feel hurt. You feel sad. Whatever you're feeling. By doing the switch, very important in the switch is that your body, your physiology of your body. So you have to sit straight, which you don't want, because when you're emotional, you want to just,
you want to hide.
You want to look down. You have to, best is to look up. If you look up and do the switch, you're already changing your state. Look at Joy right now. In only doing this, we do this with children also in school. Immediately you're shifting your emotional state, and also, this happens in seconds.
Also you're accessing your prefrontal cortex. So if we know how our brain works, we know also from NLP, so from neuro-linguistic programming, that the way that we position our eyes accesses different parts of our brain. And when we're in a more depressed state, we're usually very kinesthetic, right? So we're kind of looking down our circle.
Purely kinesthetic most of the time. No thoughts.
No, we're just kind of in the feeling state, right? So our eyes will be down, we'll be accessing our kinesthetic centers in our brain. And that just helps us, actually makes us feel even worse and worse and worse, because once we have negative thoughts running, don't they just always get more until you snap out of it? So that snapping out can literally be looking up, accessing your visual parts of your brain, which is where you can ask yourself the question, how would I like to feel? And then if you combine it with accessing all your acupressure points and those meridians in your body, those energy life cycles in your body, and you breathe, you're interrupting the pattern. And you're actually telling your system, your brain, what you want. So what do we always say to ourselves? What's our magic incantation?
With the switch?
Yeah.
Well, one important part of the switch is to be
teasing
is to basically accept what you don't want and to choose what you want. So you're going to say, I love and accept myself, even if I feel totally shitty right now. So that's the first, I would say, lifesaver. Because normally when you're in an emotional state, you're rejecting also your emotional state. You feel bad about feeling bad.
Right. You judge yourself.
Right. And so the first thing you say, I love and accept myself, even now I feel terrible. And breathe. And you say, I love and accept myself, even when I feel great again, when I feel love again. That in itself, you do nothing else,
it'll already change.
It will change everything.
You know what you're doing is you're actually creating peace inside of yourself. And you're saying, even if I feel really, really bad right now, I love and accept myself.
Right.
So you're taking that whole level of judgment out. You're balancing your chakras, you're activating your meridians, and then you're saying, and I love and accept myself when I now choose to feel good. And I feel that saying, I choose, is a really, really powerful thing to do, because so often we go through life saying, oh, I wish, oh, I want, I'd like to. But when I say I choose to feel good, that is a freaking powerful
stepping
statement,
out of the
right?
victim state.
That's true.
That's the first thing. You have a choice. You're not a victim anymore. And the other thing I didn't say yet is at this point here on the side of the switch is a fire point. It links to the heart meridian where a fire is, and it calms the fire. So we're activating the brain, but we're also calming the emotions, the heart, and it's called the point for emotional instability.
There you go. And isn't it true that right now we have a lot of emotional instability going on this planet, because there's a lot of stuff going on. You know, we're facing a ton load of information bombarding us every single second. We have a lot of wars and you know, negative media going on. It's very easy to tap into that negative state. And then when we see statistics on suicide and depression, it gets even more grim. So the only thing we can do, and I really hope that if there's something you'll take from this little video, it's this. The only thing we can do is manage our own state and say, okay, even if it seems as if the world is going to crumble, even if I feel really bad right now, I love and accept myself, and I now choose to feel good again. Because isn't it true, when we feel good, when we're connected to our most happy self, to our greatest, grandest self, that we're of better service to others? Aren't we able to give more when our vessel is full than when we're totally depleted and overwhelmed and filled with grudge, right?
Absolutely true.